A big hello from Europa Park again. We are here enjoying this park again to the fullest. We already made some great memories here together with Bart on great rides such as Voltron, Blue Fire, Bobbahn, Silver Star and many other rides. But as you might know, of course, this park is like the showcase park of Mack Rides. So the Mack family is the driving force behind Europa Park. So this park obviously houses a lot of roller coasters from the Mack Rides catalog. But which of these Mack coasters is actually the best and which one is definitely the worst? Let's find out. Now, first things first, we are going to rank the Mack coasters of the Europa Park in this video. That means that rides such as Bobbahn or Silver Star and such will not be a part of this ranking video this time. But that doesn't mean, of course, that any of these Mack coasters are better or worse than Bobbahn or Silver Star, for example. But if you want more about those coasters which are not Mack coasters, you can also find that in my previous video, which is here or here, I think it's here. But anyway, if you like this video, by the way, feel free to hit that thumbs up button somewhere here down there, as it helps spreading the fun to other theme park enthusiasts roaming around on YouTube here. Now, without further ado, let's get to the first Mack coaster of this park here today, and that is this one here, the new or almost new Alpenexpress. Now, the Alpenexpress was actually the oldest Mack coaster in the park until almost half of it burned down last year because of a fire which happened in the Zauberwälder, which was an indoor part which was on this place. But they completely rebuilt this area here. Now it's an outdoor part, as you can see, where the log flume and the Alpenexpress are running through. They completely rebuilt the Alpenexpress with a new track, new trains. So let's check it out. Here we are at the Alpenexpress, new for this year. It's not really new, of course, because it's just a rebuilt version of the old Alpenexpress. But let's try out the new version of the Alpenexpress.
Alpenexpress Enzian fährt jetzt auf. Bitte vorsichtiger Baumschläger.
Alright, so that was our first ride here on the new Alpenexpress. Did we like it, Bart? Bart just hurt himself. He hurt himself on his elbow. But anyway, it was not on the ride, by the way. But it's a fun ride. It's still the same layout, of course, as the old Alpenexpress. But the whole new area surrounding the Alpenexpress is, of course, very different. great first ride. So at this moment, it's the #1 Mack coaster in the park, but of course, it's the only Mack coaster with it so far. So let's see how the ranking changes with the next ride. We're here in this new diamond cave thing, which was not here last time I was here. This was all another kind of indoor port which burned down last year, I believe. They rebuilt this in less than a year, which is crazy, by the way. But they rebuilt this whole area. It's now an outdoor part, as you can see. Where the log flume and the powered coaster, I don't see the powered coaster here, but these are all intertwined with these rock works, which is pretty cool to see. Although I believe that the indoor part previously was a lot nicer actually, but it's very different. You cannot really compare it, but it's, yeah, I like the charm of the indoor part a lot more than this outdoor area here. But it has its own distinct feeling. It's very different. Alright, and here we are for the next ride, Arthur, which is an, what is it? A suspended coaster, a suspended powered coaster from Mack. There's not a lot of these in the world. There's one in, I think it's Universal Studios in Beijing, I think. And one here in the Europa Park. This was the first one. There's also one like this in Motion Gate in Dubai. Which is a bit better than this one in my opinion, but still this was a very enjoyable one. So let's do Arthur again. Alright, so that was Arthur, the suspended powered coaster from Mack. It's an enjoyable one, very, very enjoyable. It's a bit short maybe, and the theming is nice compared to other rides here in the park, but it's not world class, it's not Disney quality, but still it's a very enjoyable ride. I do admit that I liked the suspended inverted powered coaster from Mack in Dubai in Motion Gate a little bit more. That one was a bit more powerful, a bit more fun moments on that ride, but this one is really enjoyable. But of course, how does it rank compared to the other Mack coasters here in this park? We already had Alpenexpress. Now this one is clearly better than the Alpenexpress in my opinion. The Alpenexpress is nice, it's a nice coaster for families, but this one is just with the whole theming and such, and the spinning of the cars, the control spinning and such, it's a bit more unique, a bit more enjoyable, it's a bit more special, it's a nicer one. Alright, and next we're doing is the Atlantica SuperSplash. Some say it's not really a roller coaster, but I'm going to add it in the ranking of this Mack coasters in this park, because it's called a water coaster according to Mack themselves. So let's just say today it's a coaster. But we're going to do that one. I want to actually do it in the front row because that's a bit nicer on the video here, because otherwise you're just seeing the backs of people. Bart is not really liking the fact that I want to do it in the front row because we're probably going to be quite wet, but anyway. By the way, it's been quite a while since I did the Atlantica SuperSplash because the previous times I was here, like the previous 2 or 3 times, I was always here during the winter time, and that ride is closed during the winter time, so it's been quite a long time since I actually did the Atlantica SuperSplash, so I'm kind of looking forward to it. It's a warm day, but anyway, I hope we're not too wet. But let's do Atlantica SuperSplash. Okay, I'm really soaked. This ride was so wet. It was such a fun ride, by the way, but so wet. We were in the front row. I was in on the side of the boat, soaking wet. I got a really big wave on me. It was crazy. But anyway, did we enjoy this one? Did we? Yeah, don't laugh at me. Did we enjoy this one, Bart?
Yes.
Yes. How does it rank compared to Alpenexpress and Arthur?
Number 1.
Number 1? Really? Is it better than Alpenexpress and Arthur?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Then, yeah, maybe. Yeah, the drop is a lot more fun than all the drops on Alpenexpress and Arthur, for example. So, I agree. This one is number 1 at this moment. Alright, and here we are in the Iceland area for the next Mack coaster we're doing here after Atlantica SuperSplash. We're going for which was the biggest coaster here in the park, which was Blue Fire, a Mack launch coaster. It's not the biggest coaster in the park anymore because of course there is a Voltron now, the new coaster from this year. But we're going to do this fun Mack launch coaster first and see how it ranks compared to the other Mack coasters here in the park. Are you ready for Blue Fire? Alright, so that was Blue Fire, the Mack launch coaster here. We did Blue Fire in the first row for the first time. Did we enjoy it?
Yes.
Much better in the front, right?
Definitely worth wait a little bit longer for the first row.
Indeed, definitely worth the wait indeed for the front row. It's a little bit longer the wait, of course, for the front row, but anyway, it's a very enjoyable experience in the front. Now, but what did I actually think of this Mack coaster? Well, it's a really fun layout. It's some really cool inversions. It's quite smooth for being the first looping coaster from Mack. It has a fun launch. It's not a very powerful launch, but just a fun launch. But it has some really fun moments actually. The trains are also very comfortable. It's just a very fun coaster. But how does Blue Fire actually compare to the other ones we did so far? So we did actually already we did the Alpenexpress, we did Atlantica SuperSplash. I think we can safely say that Blue Fire as a Mack launch coaster is my favorite so far from those 4 rides we did. So Blue Fire is a really great coaster. So at this moment, Blue Fire at the top spot. On the second place, Atlantica SuperSplash. Third place, Arthur, and fourth place, the Alpenexpress. But let's get to the next Mack ride here. I'm not sure where it will be. We're walking around here somewhere at the Scandinavia area. I don't think there's a Mack coaster here in this area. Okay, I found the next ride, which will be this beauty here, Euro-Mir, which is a Mack spinning coaster. I believe it's actually the oldest Mack spinning coaster, but I'm not entirely sure. It's a very cool one. It was I think it was a prototype version with a controlled spinning. So the trains don't really spin freely like a lot of other Mack spinning coasters such as Dwergvoland and such, but this one has controlled spinning. So there's like one moment where you're facing one direction, the other moment you're facing another direction, but it's all very controlled. So every ride is kind of the same. But anyway, let's do Euro-Mir. Alright, Euro-Mir done. The 5th Mack coaster we're doing here. It's a very fun coaster. We did it in the last row. So the first drop we went down facing forwards, and then mid-course we actually turned around, and the rest of the ride was backwards, which is the most fun experience actually, because that second part is really very intense, and especially if you're going backwards, it's really cool. But now, how does it compare to the other Mack coasters here? It's not as good as Bluefire, but is it better than SuperSplash? Good question actually. Is Euro-Mir better than SuperSplash?
I think it's better than SuperSplash.
Okay, it's better than SuperSplash, yeah. It's a more intense ride than SuperSplash. SuperSplash is just like one big drop, and that's basically it. While Euro-Mir is a lot more fun with the twists and turns and going backwards and such. So Euro-Mir is at this moment on the second place of all the Mack rides, all the Mack coasters in this park actually. So let's go to the next one, and I think that will be the Schweizer Bobbahn, which is a bobsled coaster from Mack Rides. Let's see. And here it is, the Schweizer Bobbahn, which is a bobsled coaster. Let's do this one. The queue of this ride is not really nicely themed. It's just like a very standard queue. But the rest of the area where which the bobsled coaster is running through is very nice, like a very Swiss mountain village kind of thing, which is really nice, but I'll show you later. Alright, so that was the Schweizer Bobbahn, the Mack bobsled coaster. There are not a lot of these actually in the world, just not a lot of bobsled coasters anymore, unfortunately. But this one, it's a fun one, definitely, and it's also nice to have this, the interaction with the Swiss village here, which is, by the way, really nice. If you look at it. Really nice environment here in the middle of the park, but it's a fun bobsled coaster, but it's definitely not the best coaster in the park for sure. Now it's nice. This ride has like this free bobsled feeling, so you're really drifting. I'm not sure how to see it in those turns, which is really cool. But the ride is not the smoothest. It's not really that fast. I'm not a really big fan of the ride. It's pretty short also. Also the restraints. I was together in a bobsled cart with Bart. The restraint was really painful in my stomach. Also, I'm not a really big fan of this ride. But how does it rank to the other Mack coasters in the park? Well, difficult to say actually. It's at this moment my least favorite ride, I think. Yeah, I'm not sure. It's my least favorite ride, and these guys are making a lot of noise here. Sorry for that. But anyway, least favorite ride of the day, so it's at the last place at this moment, but we still have some Mack Rides to go, so maybe some rides will be worse than this, but let's see. Alright, next coaster we're doing here is the Eurosat. Can you see it? In this big Epcot-like ball. It's a fun family coaster from Mack, so we're going to do this one. Alright, so we just had another ride on Eurosat, the Can coaster, which is a really fun indoor family coaster. It was rethemed many years ago. It was like 2018, I think, when it was rethemed to this French theme, because before it used to be like a space theme. It was like a mix between the Epcot ball and Space Mountain in Disneyland or Walt Disney World. It was like a kind of a cheap version of it, of Space Mountain, but then they rethemed this to this Can coaster, and since then I really like this coaster a lot more, because it's the theme is much nicer in the queue. The theming throughout the ride with the effects is really cool, with the lighting effects and such on certain pieces. It's a little bit cardboard to ride, which is a bit sad maybe, but anyway, it's a fun ride. It's a really great Mack coaster. But how does it compare to the other Mack coasters here in this park? Well, it's obviously better than SuperSplash. SuperSplash is a fun ride, but like I said earlier, it's just a one trick thing, which is the drop, and that's it. So yeah, Eurosat is a lot more fun. It's longer, it has more twists and turns and all that kind of stuff. It's a more fun ride. Is it as good as the Euro-Mir? Not sure. No, I think Euro-Mir is better. So I would put it at the 4th place at this moment. Alright, next one we're doing here is a Matterhorn Blitz, which is a Mack Wild Mouse coaster. It's I think it's a custom model. I'm not sure exactly. I think it is. There it is. But it's a really fun one. It's a bit of a short one, but let's try it out again. Alright, so we just did the Matterhorn Blitz, the Wild Mouse coaster from Mack, which is a very fun one. It's a bit of a short one. It only has like one bigger drop. The rest is more like, yeah, tight turns. It's a fun one, but it's not a very spectacular one. I did some better Wild Mouse coasters than this one, but it has a unique lift system at the beginning of the ride, which is pretty cool actually. But anyway, it's an enjoyable one, but it's not the best coaster in the park. Now, how does it rank compared to the other Mack coasters here in the park? Is it better than Blue Fire? No, definitely not. Is it better than Euro-Mir? Definitely not. Is it better than Eurosat? Not really. Is it better than Atlantica? No. Is it better than Arthur? No. Is it better than Alpenexpress? No. Is it better than Schweizer Bobbahn? Yes. So I think it's the second to last place at this moment. And the next Mack ride we're doing is another water coaster from Mack, which is Poseidon. I believe it was actually the second Mack water coaster in the world, because the first one was, I believe, Journey to Atlantis in Orlando, SeaWorld Orlando. But we're going to do this beauty here now. Alright, so that was Poseidon here behind us, the water coaster here from Mack. It's a very fun one. It's beautifully themed, the station, and then throughout the ride there's not really that much theming, but it looks pretty nice actually here. This Greek environment here on this ride, pretty cool. The ride itself is also pretty long, which is really fun. It's a lot longer than, for example, Atlantica SuperSplash, which is more like just a small drop and one big drop, and this one has like a longer coaster part. I do have to admit the track. Oh, there's a bug on my nose. I do have to admit the coaster part of this ride is not really that smooth. The track, it's quite an old one, so the track is not really that smooth, unfortunately. But the ride is just very fun. The first drop is pretty fun with the banked drop a bit. Then the second one is really like the best drop. It's much better than the drop on Atlantica SuperSplash with the incline that suddenly changes, which gives quite some airtime actually. So it's a pretty fun one. It's not as wet as Atlantica SuperSplash. I wasn't that wet, but it's still pretty fun. I still rank it higher, I think, than Atlantica SuperSplash. It's not as good as the other coasters above Atlantica SuperSplash in the ranking, but this one is higher than Atlantica SuperSplash for sure. Alright, the next Mack coaster we're doing is Pegasus, which is a Youngstar coaster from Mack Rides. It's a bit like a Vekoma Junior coaster, but like a more thrilling model, more bigger model. I cannot really compare it with anything else, but it's a fun one. There is also a similar model in Park Warner Madrid, which was also really nice. But this one I always enjoy Pegasus, but let's do it. So we did Pegasus, there is a station, the Youngstar Mack coaster. I really like it a lot more than, for example, the Vekoma Junior coasters. This one is a very fun ride for sure. It's more intense than Vekoma Junior coasters, for example. It's like a family ride, but like not a mild one. It's a rather intenser family ride. Okay, it's still kids friendly, of course, so it's still a family ride, but it's just a little bit intenser. The drop is quite big. There's some little airtime moments and such. It's a really fun ride for sure. Now, but how does it rank compared to all the other coasters from Mack here in this park? Difficult to say actually. It's better. No, it's not better than Atlantica SuperSplash. I would put it just behind Atlantica SuperSplash, I think, because the drop of Atlantica is a bit more spectacular than the drop on this thing. It's a fun layout, but still, like I said, it's a family ride. It's family friendly. It's kid friendly ride. It's a bit intenser, but I would put it behind Atlantica SuperSplash. Yeah. And here we are at the last Mack coaster we're doing. I actually already did, right? This is Voltron, of course, the Mack Striker coaster, the newest coaster in the park, the newest Mack coaster also in the park, obviously. And just look at this thing. I'm going to ride it. Let's do it. So that was our last ride here on Voltron, the Mack Striker coaster, the last Mack coaster we're doing here for our ranking video here. I think if you watched my previous video, you already know where I'm ranking this one. This one is by far the best coaster in the park. It's really great. It's maybe even the best Mack coaster there is in the entire world. Actually, it's such a great one. But if you want to have a more in-depth review or more about my opinion on this one, I can only recommend you to watch my previous video on this ride. It's somewhere here or here, I don't know. But anyway, great coaster. And with that, we're ending our video here, and this is the final ranking here, with obviously this Mack Striker coaster in the first spot. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. It's always appreciated, of course. And let me know in the comments also if you agree with my ranking. It's my opinion, of course. It may be different from yours. I would love to know how you think about this ranking. But anyway, I really enjoyed all these Mack coasters again here in Europa Park. And maybe I'm going to ride this one again. Not sure, probably I will. But anyway, I'll see you again in the next video. See ya!